them hard. Ain't no time for permission. From the weight room to the plate, we spit motivation. Yeah, we yell at the but it's pure dedication. Got the podcast booming, the whole team listen. Big dudes, big hearts, and the scholarship glistening. Big dudes, big hearts, and the scholarship glistening.
Hey, welcome back to the Bucket Dads podcast, where we talk about all things fast pitch from 10U all the way up to the AUSL. We're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to actually go into the history of fast pitch and where softball came from. So without further ado, I'm Rob.
And I'm Chad.
And we're the Bucket Dads. So this idea actually came from your daughter.
It was kind of cool, man. Yeah. So Rob and I like to do this weekly thing. And, like we talked about before, we kind of just wing it sometimes. And so we're like, what are we going to do today? Rob actually texted me this morning. We were talking, going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't put any thought into it. I had a wild day at work, so I didn't get a chance to really put any thought into it. Yeah. And then I got home and Abby's going, you guys podcasting tonight? And I'm like, yeah, I think we are. What are you going to podcast? She goes, actually, her first thing, she goes, I should be on your podcast. That's what she says.
Brilliant.
I go, hey. Yeah. I go, well, here's, and then I kind of got into, which we'll get into here in a minute. Got into our weekend event coming up, right?
Right.
And then our plans with that one. And I said, hey, you girls, blah, 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 blah. We had a little plan in store. And then she goes, oh, well, you guys should talk about the history of softball and where it started. I said, all right.
And then you ran the idea by me, and I was like, that is a great idea. Because you know what? I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. For all you guys that don't know me personally,
this is cool.
I'm a huge history buff. Like, I love learning about history, especially sports history.
Yeah.
Because, like, my brain, for whatever reason, it remembers sports history.
Yeah.
Like, really
cool,
well.
Man. I always liked history, too. And in school, I always enjoyed history. I hated all the other classes. I hated, the traditional, all that, but I did enjoy history.
Yeah.
And it was kind of fun, actually, because there was a lot of, going back to it real quick, hey, before we get started, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, help us out on Facebook, man. Leave a comment, get the algorithm going, share it with your friends, share it with your mom, whoever, we don't care.
Yes, and by the way, there's a little thing we're going to start doing differently for those of you that didn't notice when we dropped this podcast. You'll be like, what was that all about? We are not posting the link in the comments anymore. Okay, we found out that in 2026 the algorithms have shifted, and so now we're going to give you a hot key to say, where we're going to give you a certain word. Like, I believe this week is going to be gear, GEAR. You drop that in the comments, and then we will automatically DM you with the link, and that basically creates massive engagement. It gets the comments flowing. It makes the algorithm think that we're going viral, and it helps with our exposure. Otherwise, I found out we were getting throttled, which means we were getting limited by 80%. 80%, Chad.
Well, hopefully people will be into clicking the link and doing that.
Well, I mean, the other thing too is, like, if you guys ever want to message us, it gets the conversation started, because then the message, shows up in your DM in Messenger, and it gets the conversation started.
That's right.
And, but plus, honestly, most of you that are watching this podcast, you probably already know we're on YouTube. You probably already know what our YouTube handle is, @BucketDads. You'll be able to find the video if you don't want to. You don't want to put gear in the comments or whatever. But anyways, so, man.
Oh.
What's up?
Hold on. You have a huge shout out to give out today.
Oh, yes.
My guy.
Okay.
Let's hear this one. This is the best story.
Oh, man.
Tell me about it.
So I'm sitting here, working on some stuff, and I get this message from my mom. And she's like, you're never going to believe what happened to me at the bank today. And I was like, what? She's like, I ran into one of your fans from the podcast. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Come on. And she's like, no. One of the tellers there, one of the girls there is like a huge fan of your podcast. I was like, well, how did you guys even get on the topic to be like, I should just have like a hat or a shirt or anything. Right. What is my mom just going in there? My son does a podcast, So
I made her a t-shirt.
So I think what happened was, I think it was like her face is still kind of healing in different ways or something like that. And like the topic came up and mentioned about softball, and or maybe something about
your mom probably just threw it in there that she took one to the freaking head from her
how are you doing today? Well, better that my freaking head is freaking healed and I don't have a goose egg on it, And she's like, well, you know, basically how did this happen, or how did whatever event you're talking about happen? And it was like, well, you know, softball. She's like, softball, or, you know, and something else. And then, and then you've been busy. And then my son has a podcast, and she's like, a podcast. And she's like, yeah. She's like, about what? She's like, softball. She's like, softball. Yeah. She's like, oh wait, it's hold on, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's the Bucket Dads. Boom. And she's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, it's the Bucket Dads. She's like, oh, I love those guys, according to what my mom said.
Right,
now,
right,
this
right.
might be
Your mom could have juiced it up a little bit. Whatever.
She's like, I guess the
Trying
lady
to make us feel good.
The lady thinks we're funny,
right? Which we are.
Yeah, and
Probably
she
hella
says
good looking.
we're you know, probably kind of sexy,
Maybe.
and you know, hold on, little sexy. Yeah. But
right.
what do they call it? Mewing? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Freaking the trendy shit. So, anyways,
Dude,
I guess she liked it, and like
we
she's
got our first freaking. I mean, hasn't happened to us yet, but
no,
from a friend of a friend or someone that you know,
No.
to know.
But I'll tell you right now, I'm thinking about going and making a deposit.
Are you that guy? You're that bucket. You're that bucket.
Oh my
guy.
God. It's the Rob father. Oh, my back.
Walking there.
Oh,
Good
but
stuff,
yeah, man. So whoever you are, thank you
Yeah.
so much for enjoying the show.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You know,
Tell your friends.
we do what we can, and
Please share.
looking forward to crossing paths with you one day, and like just getting like a someone else's opinion that I don't know personally. You
Sure.
know, I'm always
I like that.
You know, like to
Yeah.
hear it, feedback, and you know, and don't,
Somebody comments
and
on,
you don't
somebody
need to get-
does comment on our YouTube channel, bro. If you go in and look at it, somebody does comment, and,
Yeah.
and it could be her. Somebody
is.
does comment on our YouTube channel.
I guess this girl used to play like you know, ball in high school and stuff like that. But yeah, so anyways, we appreciate it. And you know, if you're listening to this, freaking shout out at us in the
give us-
comments.
give us a shout
you
out
know?
in the bank.
Hell yeah. You
Tell
know?
her at the bank.
You
Tell
know?
her everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling everybody.
Dude, that's awesome.
Oh man,
So maybe you can get us a loan for some cameras one of these days.
some good ones too.
Yeah. Chad, what were you saying about you started talking about the daddy-daughter dance?
Well,
or
this
or
weekend
something?
we got a daddy-daughter dance called something like that. I think it's called the daddy-daughter dance or something like that. It's out in Carlton, Oregon, at a winery. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Got some free tickets for us, and we're going to get all decked out. We're going to get all shined up. The girls
That's
are going to
right.
get all dolled up.
I'm going to put in my contacts. That's right. Put in my contacts.
Nice.
Yeah. Might give the old beard just a little trim.
Just get a little trim look, maybe put
yeah.
on a little cologne or something like that. You know what I mean?
Might wear some jewelry. I might wear a watch.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm never wear a watch anymore.
Yeah.
man.
And go for a little horse ride out there on the horse and carriage kind of thing. It'll be fun, man. So that's what we got going on. And so, anyways, going back to
Wait, hold on. I'm excited.
That's right.
Let me tell you why I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've never been to a daddy-daughter dance.
No.
Not once.
What?
Yeah, well, you know, because the injury happened. You know, I was in a wheelchair for a while and on crutches for a pretty long time. So like any of the earlier daddy-daughter dances were like not really feasible, you know. But now I can do it. And so I was actually giving Ziva a little bit of shit. I was like, how are you in heels? Like, she's like, I can wear heels. I'm like, what do you mean you can wear heels? Like, you can put them on and then fall over on your face, or like you can actually wear heels. She's like, no, I can wear heels. And then Christine backed her up. And I was like, no, actually, I'm like, no way. I'm going to be at a daughter dance with my daughter in heels, you know?
Rob's going to bring a sword to the dance floor.
Yeah. It'll be in my cane. Pull it out.
Start
Some
cutting it
kung
up,
fu
dude.
movie stuff, you know?
It's going to be a great time, man. They have I haven't been there. I seen it came up in my Facebook memories. And it was 8 years ago when I went to the first one. And Abby they were young. I was like, holy cow. My buddy Sean and I, we went.
The itty bitty thing.
Yeah.
3 years old.
8 years ago, bro.
Damn.
And so, and then we went to it, I think, 2 years after that. And then, so it's been a minute since we've done it. They got a nice DJ out there, nice big old dance thing, food, the spread. And this is going to be great. You've never been to a daddy-daughter dance, man. I'm excited to be part of this.
Dude, what if the DJ takes requests?
Oh, yeah.
And we have them drop the Blaze anthem. What
All the people are like, what the hell? Yeah. That'll be fun.
Everybody starts getting down to it.
Dude.
That'd be wild. That'd be
we'll
crazy.
post it. So,
that'd be crazy.
So then we're talking about maybe next week having the girls on the show and reliving that.
Oh, my God, dude. You know what? I think that our Spotify stuff for Bucket Dads will be up in time for the daddy-daughter dance. And if I could take that country song Was it Living Like a Bucket Dad? That slow moving country song. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome if they play that dance. But yeah, dude, way excited.
Cool special moments, man. We'll have pictures up.
Your wife got us the tickets, and unfortunately, the podcast that we had scheduled that night was going to have to be rescheduled, which, by the way, she got back to me. Jackie got back to me and said she's able to reschedule these other weekends. But I was really worried. I was like, man, I really want to get her on the cast, man. She's, she's kind of a local name in the Fastpitch pitching community in the Pacific Northwest, because she has so many different students. I think she has like an average of like 2 students on every team. Yeah. Something ridiculous like that.
That's wild, man.
So she's going to get rescheduled, but man, I'm stoked to go.
Yeah.
And other really great news is that, I don't want to get into any names or anything like that, but we did have a scare recently on our team, and somebody we thought may have been pretty not really seriously injured, but injured in such a way where they were going to have to take time off. And all of our players are pretty key to us. Yeah. We have good rotation, and good news is that she's fine.
All's well.
She got cleared. Practice and everything, and man, we are so happy about that. So my heart goes out to you, T.
That's
so happy for you.
That's another really good, subject we can hit on at some point, is, how much is too much, and when is a good time to just back it down and just chill and do some, other activities for a day or two. Yeah. And hit those stretching, stretch your muscles out in different ways that, when we're just constantly doing the same repetitions over and over,
or yes, that plus or work on mental reps. Sure, and like tantrums and stuff like that, hand-eye coordination stuff and quick twitch stuff that isn't necessarily hard muscle exertion.
Yeah, and sometimes it's okay to just chill and just veg out, man. We got home from school today. I picked up Abby, and she was like, "Dad, I'm tired. I feel you, bud. I feel you." And we got home. I talked to you a little bit. That's why I didn't really hear any barking from me, because Abby passed out.
Yeah,
I kind of did, picked up a little bit here and there. I laid on the couch for what turned into be a 30-minute little snoozy myself. Yeah. We're just all kind of, it's okay just to chill sometimes. So anyways, that's another subject, but good news on that. So yeah, good news on that.
So happy. So moving on.
Yep.
I don't know how many of you know this.
Yep.
But softball goes back a long ways. It goes back to pre-1900.
Yeah, some 1880, something like that. 80.
Yeah, I want to say 1887 or something. I got this written down, bro.
1883, Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1887.
1887.
Yes.
Okay.
And close. You're pretty close, man.
Yeah.
I bet none of you people knew that it was.
When was the first tournament? There was something about the first tournament.
The first tournament was 1933. Well,
nope. I got one earlier than that.
You got one earlier than that?
Yeah, I got one in the 1890.
I got the first team. I didn't know it was a tournament.
Okay.
But you know what? There probably was a tournament, because there's a team. They have to, Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
See, learn something new all the time.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
This is great stuff.
Yeah. So the first women's team. Do you remember the name of that?
I don't.
I didn't remember it either if I didn't have these in front of me, so I don't feel bad. It was West Division High School, or West Division High was the name of the team. I'm assuming it was a high school.
Yeah.
Right. In Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago's pretty much where it came from, right?
Yeah.
So, why
makes sense. Makes sense. Dude, Chicago, hey, that makes sense, man.
Yeah. Hey.
I learned a couple cool things.
Yeah. So tell them how softball was created, because it's kind of a crazy story.
What I read on was the first ball was a boxing glove.
Yeah.
Was a boxing glove that they laced up.
Yep.
And they tied it up real well, and they played the first game with a broomstick, right?
Yep.
Indoor was it indoor?
Indoors.
Indoor. They set up indoor, and I think the first score was like 41-40. What? So,
dude, I gotta tell you right now, that sounds like a fun freaking game to play.
Yeah.
Whatever they were playing way back then sounds like a fun game to play.
Yeah.
If you can
and
get
I don't
41
think they called
points,
it softball. I don't think they called it softball.
No, they called
it. They called it softball for a long time.
Yeah.
Lots of different names.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different names. There's kitten ball.
Yeah, mitten ball.
Yeah. Then there was mush ball, which they still play to this day in Chicago.
Okay.
Then they called it pumpkin ball.
Yeah.
Right? Because of obviously, I don't know if you guys know this, but so you got like a 12-inch softball. The softballs were 17 inches. 17 inches.
With a broomstick.
Freaking bowling, bro.
With a broomstick.
Yeah, with the broomstick. I mean, you got to think about how big a boxing glove is, right? And, You know, so
41-40 indoor.
yeah. And so so it originally happened actually
But they're all bloody, beating the shit out of each other, dude. Just all beat up.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Just all bloody, just all bruisers out there.
Yeah.
No rules.
There's no obstruction rules.
Playing for beer at a bar, probably.
No, yeah, it was at a yacht club. They were I think they were about ready to check the
How drunk do you think they were?
Oh, they were toasted.
I bet
It was
they
like
were.
the Harvard Yale yacht club, so they had the good stuff.
Oh, they were the good yuppie ones too. Oh yeah.
Exactly. So
Nice.
there was some kind of a game going on, and they went to go check the score. I think it was the Harvard Yale football game. And and then somebody like put that glove in a ball and threw it. Somebody hit the broomstick, and someone said, "Let's play ball."
Yeah, it was kind of like a joke or a pun or something.
Oh yeah, it was a big. They're just screwing around. It was just fucking around, you know.
Yeah.
So then they chalked the diamond on the floor. Played 41-40, just epic, and it was born.
Yeah.
And so and then in 1926, softball got its name.
Sure.
And the person that named it, his name was Walter Hakanson, and he was from the YMCA. So the Y goes deep with softball.
That's right. The Y goes deep with softball.
Yep. So obviously men created it, but then it shifted over to women.
Yeah.
Do you remember reading about that?
Well, I read this. Don't want to take the thunder on this one, but I read that softball and baseball both started off with underhand pitching.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild,
right?
Softball and baseball both started off underhand pitching.
I had no idea.
Indoors was the thing behind it because they're playing indoors,
right?
And then baseball, I'm assuming men were playing and they're throwing harder, whatever.
Yep, and they had longer distances, so they couldn't really play. They didn't really want to play inside, so they started throwing overhand.
Because I believe another name that they called softball was indoor outdoor because they played a lot indoor, and so they threw underhand. I think that's something in there. I didn't really get too far into it, but yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many teams did you think they started off with?
Oh, dude.
Did you read on that? I didn't.
I'm gonna guess
probably something like the
4.
8.
I bet like 4. Probably just try 4 just to see what happened.
Probably something like the
Yeah, so it started getting big, and then what happened is, as most of you viewers probably know, if you're into softball and you're into baseball and you haven't seen a league of your own by now, you're missing out on life.
Yeah,
you are. And so the League of Their Own thing happened. It was the All-American Girl Professional Baseball League, the AAGPBL. And that happened around World War II. And that really started getting women more in the limelight a little bit.
That's wild.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you had
because at this time during the war, like women are super involved in manufacturing. They're welding.
Yep.
They're totally in the trades, and they're in sports too.
They had
awesome.
They had like other leagues going on too. They had the industrial leagues in the 30s and the 40s, and that's also started like turning a lot of these women into like celebrities. But then when it really took off was when Title IX happened back in 1972. For those of you that haven't done your history homework, Title IX is basically when women finally got equal rights and in sports, equal funding, for sports. And that's when softball turned into a legitimate NCAA sport. Yeah. That's when it really got its credibility and took off. And I would say the rest is history, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more good stuff. Once it started to take off, you had the first NCAA World Series, the College World Series, in 1982. And I didn't realize, I thought it was earlier than that, but crazy enough, 1982 is when the first College World Series for softball happened for women. And then later on down the road in 1996 is where they got on the Olympic team. Wow. And that it was in Atlanta. And we've been dominating pretty much, I think, ever since.
That's wild. Right? Man. That's cool.
But a couple little fun facts, man. This I did not know. And you did not know this, I don't think. But in the beginning, you could choose your own path around the bases.
What?
Yeah. You could go clockwise or you could go counterclockwise. But the rule was once the first runner decided which way they're going, your team had to go that way for the rest of the game.
Okay.
Could you imagine that now?
Wow.
Could you imagine like the slapper? You'd have right-handed slappers and left-handed slappers.
Well, they'd have to be right on. Yeah.
Switch hitting would be huge.
Can you change it? So it has to be the first hit of the game. The first
person who takes off running.
So the first run of the game.
Yeah,
I guess, right?
I would assume it's the first run of the game. I don't know if it's like you had a foul ball, took off running, and that counts, or if it's like a base hit. But like, if you decide to go down third base, which I'm telling you, I'm not an expert on this, but my guess is everybody went down third base line because everybody's right-handed, right?
That's so crazy. Yeah, that's cool.
Can you imagine that?
That's so cool.
Can you imagine having like two first basemen? The first baseman and third baseman would have to be basically identical. You know what I mean? They'd have to be quick on freaking rockets at the face, and they'd have to be really good at stretching out with like scoop glow. Crazy, right?
That is crazy.
Yeah. So
well, history there for you guys.
we've had some really good players throughout the years. The ones that I think stand out the most, there is this lady, Joan Joyce. Did you read about her?
I did not.
Okay, so Joan Joyce was a badass pitcher. I want to say I think she had like 150 no-hitters.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's got to be a record. That's got to be a record, right? So the reason why she got huge isn't actually because of the no-hitters, which you're like, well, then what did she do? What could she have possibly done to make herself bigger than 150 no-hitters? She struck out Ted Williams.
Okay. Okay.
So pretty much one of the greatest hitters of all time in baseball. And she struck his ass out. And I guess he got really pissed off and threw his bat. Dude.
What event that was at?
Yeah. It was an exhibition event.
Sure,
and then also, maybe this is one of the reasons why she struck his ass out. They were throwing from 35 feet away. So now they're like back to 43. So can you imagine somebody pitching like, I don't know, 63 miles an hour? Because they probably weren't breaking 70 back then, but 63 miles an hour, releasing that ball from like 30 feet away or 29 feet away on the leap or on the push.
I'm just trying to imagine myself hurling a miniature
Pumpkin.
Basketball.
Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, could you imagine one of those little rubber basketballs trying to hurl one of those 35 feet on somewhere?
Like the way they curl their arm to try to get. But in the 70s, I guess they were doing that because the windmill hasn't always been around. Even though they were doing underhand, the windmill didn't start until the 40s or 50s, which I found out.
Okay.
That's kind of interesting.
The evolution.
Yeah.
And it continues, right? The evolution continues.
Absolutely, man. Because everybody knows they were just like swinging their arms around in the beginning.
I wonder how long.
They weren't doing any internal rotation back then, I don't think.
Well, I'm wondering because back then I wonder if kids probably didn't get to play as much like professional, but kids didn't probably get to play as much in schools and stuff like that because they just didn't have it available. So like people weren't really playing ball until they were like in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until they're older.
Yeah.
They were already like, we're trying to develop them when they're they're young, they're 9, 10 years old. We're trying to get them going.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way I could imagine our girls hurling a little pumpkin further than 12 feet, bro. They were just built different back then, yeah?
Yeah. Corn-fed, just like Jeff said, corn-fed.
Tough.
Bunch of the Dotties and what's the other girl's name from A League of Their Own? The two sisters.
Oh my goodness.
It was Dottie and
I would
Kit.
have to look.
Dottie and Kit, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's been so
They weren't
long
like
since
Dottie and Kit living on a farm.
Abby's seen the movies. I told her, I go, Abby, we should watch this. She goes, we watched it. It's one of those times I put a movie on and fell asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
I've seen it.
It's kind of soothing. Yeah, I've seen it too.
It's a great
So
movie.
another interesting fact that I found out is that Nysri Kennedy, she's not the first $1 million arm.
Okay.
Actually, I thought she was the first $1 million arm. But no. Now, some of you guys might know. I'll let you think about it for a second. It's a pitcher, obviously, and a pretty big famous pitcher. The answer is, of course, Monica Abbott.
Okay.
The person that held the freaking fastball record all this time before Nyjah tied it, and then freaking Carlin freaking shattered it, right?
$1 million
I think it was like 76 miles an hour is what it was. But yeah, so Monica Abbott in 2016 signed a $1 million contract with a team called the Scrapyard Dogs, DAWGS.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Now, have you ever seen Monica Abbott pitch? You've probably seen it, just didn't realize it was her because I'm sure you've seen enough stuff by now. She has a very unique like cock back and launch. She gets her back like super flat, and because she's a pretty tall person, I'm not sure how tall she is. If I had to guess, she's definitely over 6 feet. And anyways, she does this thing where she bends over at the waist, and her back goes like flat, almost down to I'd say like not quite a 45-degree angle down, but like she gets down low.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when she, because they weren't allowed to leap back when she was pitching, they could leap, but they had to toe drag. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And so she didn't get off the ground, but if that girl would have gotten off the ground, Whoo. I bet she would have been thrown a little bit faster than 76.
I just keep remembering that one clip. I don't know if you'll get in trouble for posting it on here, but if you can, put it right there. That one clip of that, it was like that Korean pitchers winding up and doing that fast pitch. Do you remember that clip? It was like, I think it was like a TikTok.
Oh, you're talking about the Japanese pitchers that are freaking nasty and look like they're freaking martial arting. His hat's flying off and shit. Is that what you're talking about? Dude with the baseball hat that flies off like half his head because he's thrown so hard.
Bruce Lee of pitchers,
Jesus, bro. Dude.
The one-inch punch of pitchers.
Hey, and that's not like, you didn't say Bruce Lee just because the guy is Asian. It had a little bit to do with why he was Asian, but no, it was bad. It was more about the fact that it looks like a freaking martial art. This guy, I want to show you guys this, dude. I've never seen a pitcher get this violent, this aerial, and this like just. The guy looks like he's doing assault on somebody, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't just look like he's pitching all fluid. He's just like, just looks like he's going to snap a board in half or something.
When I said the
right?
Bruce Lee thing, I'm talking about the 1-inch punch. And then that's cut.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, I mean, maybe there is a little bit of reference there. I don't know, but the 1-inch punch thing, that energy release is what that it reminds me of.
It's said with love and respect. It's not said to make fun of anybody. Like this is the thing,
I would
man.
love it if somebody would compare me to the Bruce Lee of anything, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
the Bruce
listen,
Lee
if anybody's done their homework on the internet, and this is just the truth. The Japanese and probably they do love softball, and probably other Asian countries too probably are like this too, but definitely Japanese. From all of my research on, just doesn't matter if it's cars or technology or sports or eating or knife sharpening, they become freaking experts in whatever it is they're doing. All right, they take it very seriously. It's like a cultural thing where if you don't take whatever it is you're doing seriously, it's frowned down upon. They lose
great dishonor,
lose fame. Yeah, great dishonor. Exactly.
Great dishonor for sure, bro. You don't want to bring great dishonor, man.
Yeah, and so when when you watch, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to look up like glove breaking in and stuff like that, but like one of the masters in the world of breaking in is this Japanese dude, and he'll talk about breaking glove. Bro, it's like almost like
A2Ks are like some Japanese have like crazy leather. They got like some of the best leather in the world.
Japanese kip leather.
Yeah, man, and that's what the A2K is. That's what separates it from like the A2000, and it's all handmade and all that, but it's all Japanese influence. Japanese. I think I'm almost willing to believe that if they had it as much, pound for pound, I would say that they're just as much into baseball as we are, probably more. I mean, they are big into baseball over there, and concerts.
Honestly, it's probably more. And I know you guys don't want to hear that because America is like pastime, but Japan,
Americans go there to play.
Yeah, that's what they have in Japan is baseball and softball, and the shit's huge, man. They don't have like Japanese football teams like filling stadiums and stuff. They might have soccer teams and stuff like that, but the baseball and softball are big, big, and it's not just Japan. Big in Korea, you know,
military bases.
Yeah.
Big airports.
They do everything big in Japan, right? But yeah. So, anyways, I follow a lot of Japanese TikTok on softball.
Oh, heck yeah.
I've been paying attention for a long time, and I've seen some of the littlest girls. We're talking like 7, 8 8U girls that are probably thrown in the mid-40s.
Yeah.
I wonder when Japan started playing softball. That's like the next thing in history because they take it so seriously. I wonder if it's something they picked up back in Olympics.
Sports too, Olympics.
Like first Olympic Games, or if it was like maybe 20 years before that.
I'm gonna look it up, dude. I'm gonna look it up, bro.
But
the suspense is killing me.
Yeah,
they're into big like MMA fighting, man. They like rock and roll concerts. Michael Jackson, bro. They were big in that stuff, bro. And Michael Jackson went to Japan. Holy cow.
Yeah. I've never been there. I really do want to go there. My grandma went there a while back. She had a pen pal or like my grandma used to do like handbills. She was in that bell choir. Sounds kind of lame, but actually it got our family to a lot of different vacations, you know, because the bell choir was playing like on board cruise ships or playing in like a resort someplace. And so we got to go on some different vacations back in the day. And one of the ladies that she met was in the Tokyo Bell Choir, and it was Komiko. And so my grandmother went to Japan probably 6 or 7 times in her life.
Bro.
Pictures were amazing. What? How long?
I don't mean to cut you off.
What? How long?
I'm just going to let Gemini read this, but their history goes back as far as ours does.
No shit.
150 years.
No wonder why they take it so seriously. It's probably the longest running sport in the freaking Yes, probably.
We probably brought so much great disorder. You bring great disorder.
You know, striker out.
Oh shit!
Can you imagine that, dude? Can you imagine if you blew the game?
Every time they just beat the shit, just beat you,
dude? I don't know what punishment is over there.
Oh, here we go.
While baseball was the pioneer, softball grew as its accessible, community-focused counterpart. Baseball, the martial sport, 1870s to 1930s. Baseball didn't just arrive in Japan. It was adopted almost as a spiritual practice. 1872. The Spark. American professor Horace Wilson introduced the game to students at Kaisei Academy, now Tokyo University. The Samurai Connection. In the late 1800s, Japanese players began to view baseball through the lens of Bushido, the way of the warrior. They saw the pitcher-batter duel as a mental battle, similar to kendo or sumo. This cultural...
Dude, wait.
Pause.
Talking about baseball, right? Because softball wasn't invented until 87, so...
Well, they did say that it started off with softball, with baseball, and now we're into this crazy catcher-pitcher duo.
Dude, you know what? Is it the longest?
Here we go, though. Softball, though. Okay, here we go. It's going to get into it. Let's continue.
Made it feel less like a foreign import and more like a Japanese tradition. 1896, the turning point. A Japanese high school team, Ichiko, crushed a team of American residents in Yokohama. This victory became a massive source of national pride and proved that Japan could compete with the West at their own game. 1934, the Babe Ruth era, a legendary tour featuring Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, drew over 500,000 fans. This success led directly to the creation of the Yomiuri Giants and the first professional league in 1936. Softball, the School and Community Foundation, 1940s to 1960s.
So we got to be
primarily through the education system,
Dude, pause
and as
it
a
real
way
quick.
to engage women.
Dude, that tour brought in more fans than some of the pro baseball teams have done in an entire season of home games.
Maybe that's how the freaking pyramids got built, bro. You know what I mean? No one thought about them, bro.
Yeah,
No one even thought about those guys.
Diamond Sports. Post-World War II growth. After 1945, the U.S. occupation promoted sports to foster democratic ideals. Baseball and softball were encouraged as healthy, community-building activities.
Wow, man. I had no idea that baseball has been around that long in Japan. And I mean, I thought I knew baseball. Nope. Did you have any idea?
Well, you know, you got to think about it this way, though. Their history, period, is, you know, we are such a young country, bro. So everything we've experienced, like other countries have had to have time. They got bored and started hitting rocks with broomsticks way before we did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how long is China? China's like 5,000 years old or something like this, you know?
Yeah, those round eyes at the freaking boat club thought that they were onto something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Japanese people probably had like a specialized freaking ball. They just didn't call it softball. No. And then, you know what? I bet they invented it first.
Yeah.
I bet they invented it first, but they don't get the credit for it. I bet if you actually start talking to some Japanese people that have been around a long time, they'll be like, "Oh, you Americans, you stole the softball from us."
That's what the whole war is about.
No. Oh my God.
Plot twist.
Oh my
Plot
God.
twist.
No. Oh man. So, you know, softball history, man, there's been some pretty good players throughout time. You ever heard of a woman by the name of Lisa Fernandez? Lisa Fernandez?
No.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't know everything about her, but I knew she was a badass pitcher.
You are
I mean,
history buff.
like,
You're history buff in the heck.
Well, you see, like, if you get on like TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts or something like that, and you're looking up like tutorials, which by the way, I got some good news for you guys that are interested about my playlists. I'll get back to that in just a second. But anyways, I was looking up different, like, you know, pitching tutorials and stuff like that. And Lisa Hernandez comes up often. And not only was she, if I remember correctly, don't get me on this if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure not only was she just a freaking phenomenal pitcher and phenomenal hitter, kind of like the Jordy Ball of today. You know, Jordy Ball is a badass hitter and badass pitcher. That was Lisa Fernandez back in the day.
Okay.
But Lisa Fernandez, I'm pretty sure, has one of the nastiest changeups I've ever seen. I swear to God, I'm like playing like clips in my head right now of her throwing these nasty freaking changeups.
Post them if you can.
And I mean, if they exist and I'm not wrong, well, if I'm wrong, I might edit this part out. But if they exist, you'll probably have seen it right here, that playing right at the top of us. as you can see, this right here is the nastiest changeup I have ever seen.
That's right.
You know, so yeah, she was crazy, and I want to say she won back-to-back national championships, right? But another thing that I found is an interesting, like, legendary person, which, I mean, I've heard the name and I kind of knew it, but I didn't really like digest it at the time. Dot Richardson. Okay, so the name is really, really like a name that's been around in softball for a while. And not only was she an incredible softball player, which I'll get into in just a second, but she also became an orthopedic surgeon. All right, so she's a sharp cookie.
Okay.
Right. Well, now she the head coach of Liberty.
Oh, cool.
And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong here, guys, but I'm pretty sure Liberty is the team that knocked out Texas A&M out of the College World Series last year. And Texas A&M, I think, was the number 1 seed going in. But Liberty is also a university where one of the top players in Oregon high school right now is committed to.
Okay.
And she actually plays for Glencoe.
Okay.
So you guys might recognize the name. Her name is McKenna Petrick. And sometimes they call her Mac and stuff like that. But McKenna Petrick is a super athletic stud.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was trying to get her to mentor Ziva back in the day, but I don't know if the word ever got back to her. I talked to her dad, who I'm kind of connected with. You know, we passed by every once in a while. I went to school. Ben Petrick, that's the local legend. Her dad, long story, got drafted by the Colorado Rockies, and then unfortunately had some health problems that took him out of baseball. But it's a sad story, but it's a story that actually helped me out when I was disabled, after surgery. He has a book, and I read that while I was going through rehab, and it helped me, bounce back.
Sucks.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the exciting news. So McKenna, she's a badass shortstop. I'm pretty sure she's all-state shortstop. That's at 6A. I could be wrong. She might even be back-to-back all-state shortstop. She's a badass, right?
She's a varsity Glencoe.
Yeah. She plays for the Bullets, right?
Okay.
And she committed to Liberty. And I'm really excited to see what happens over there. But the reason why I bring that up, the reason why it's so important is because Dot Richardson was also a badass shortstop.
Okay. Heck yeah.
That makes sense now. Not only is like the team coming in, recruits are coming in because Dot's there. All right. But she's also a badass shortstop. And she was on, I'm pretty sure, either the first Olympic team or one of the Olympic teams that won gold, and she is the reason why they won gold, because she won the gold medal game with a freaking walk-off home run, I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so McKenna is in great hands over there, and I'm really excited to see what happens because, that's a program. If they can take out the number 1 seed, then, that's not an accident. So anyway, so that's one of the names. And then like some of the other names, if I remember correctly, obviously Patty Gasso from Oklahoma, right? Because you can't talk about any coaches without mentioning possibly, if not the greatest coach of all time or close to it. She's probably right up there with, I think it's, I don't want to say his name wrong. I think it's Mike Condrea. Yeah, that's right. So anyways, Mike Condrea, Arizona. Now I don't know all the stats, but I'm pretty sure there was like a 23-year period where he was down in Arizona when Jenny Fitch was down there, where I want to say he got to the College World Series either every single year or almost every single year, and like usually placed in the top 5. Like it's crazy when you look up Mike Condrea's record. That guy is a strong candidate for greatest freaking softball coach of all time. Very strong candidate. And then also, but again, Patty Gasso, because I mean, she won 4 national championships in a row. How can you say that she's not a candidate either? That's like comparing freaking like, Tom Brady to like, probably like Peyton Manning and like, Joe Montana and stuff like that. Obviously, Tom's got the freaking rings, but hey, let's just be honest here. Peyton Manning, like as far as quarterbacks go, one of the most brilliant minds ever on the field. And like when he got taken out, you could see how bad that Colts team was. Like they won like 2 games out of the season. When he's in, then they win a Super Bowl or they get to like the championship game. That's a pretty big deal, right? Yeah. So, but anyways, as far as like some of the softball names and stuff like that, it goes back to like Dot Richardson. Like, there's a couple others that are out there that are pretty big that I looked up. A lot of people probably know the name Jocelyn Allo, or Allo, A-L-O. She's just an incredible hitter. She was on the Oklahoma team. She was the first player to hit over 500 batting average with over 30 home runs in a single season. So she's a slugger. Yeah. And she's the all-time home run leader with 122 career home runs. Lauren Chamberlain was the girl before her in 2022 that had the record. I got to tell you, one of the things that Jocelyn Allo did was really kind of cement the fact that Pacific Islander girls, Hawaiians, can freaking ball out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players coming out of Hawaii that are just freaking jacked, and Jocelyn Allo is one of them. Man, like that girl is a beast. One of the things I've seen her do is I'm pretty sure I'm wearing the shirt, actually, believe it or not, Savannah Bananas. And hey, props to Savannah Bananas, dude. You guys are doing that right. I'm hoping that somebody somewhere knows the CEO, because we would love to have him on the podcast. Like, and you know what? Honestly, I think he would like to be on this podcast because a lot of his patrons are softball families.
Can you imagine how good that yellow suit would look against this in the studio?
Dude, the yellow suit would look good. It would look real good, especially right over there, offsetting the room and everything. I mean, I would wear my banana gear for that. But anyways, Jocelyn Aldo, she played on the Bananas. And she played, and I want to say, I don't know if she got a home run, but she definitely hit a shot out to the gap on that team. So girls can ball out, man. Girls can ball out. And here pretty soon, we're going to be seeing pro women's baseball come in here pretty soon. I don't know, personally. Okay, listen. I'm going to be flat out honest here. And some of you guys may not like this. Some of you guys are big baseball fans. I used to play baseball. I used to love to play baseball. I wanted to go pro, all that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, softball is a much, I don't know if it's the right word, funner sport to watch than baseball.
Well, it's way faster.
Yes.
When you go to a baseball game, I love baseball too, but when you go to a baseball game, unless you have like really, really good seats and you're really active with like a crowd of people and you guys are having a great time and everybody's jammed up, if you're just watching the game, it just kind of gets boring at times, man. A baseball game can go on for hours, and like even when you go to like a local, one of our local, games here, it's baking in the sun. You're just like, gosh, I wish this thing would wrap it up. Our game's fast. And it's not because it is kind of because they only play, 4 innings, whatever the deal is, where they play for an hour or whatever. But during that time, there's a lot of things going on, man. Yes. A lot of things going on.
Yes. I mean, it's just
way more action.
It's just, it's way more action. like whenever there's a base hit, especially at the lower levels, because once you get to like, probably 16U and up, base hits, it's kind of more like it, if you don't get an actual base hit, like you're not going to get a whole lot of errors. But I'm not saying that the errors are what makes it fun. They do make it fun, but at the lower levels, somebody hits the ball, they might actually just have enough wheels to beat out the weaker freaking 11-year-old arm or 12-year-old arm over at third base. Sure. Once you get up to like, second year 14U, first year 14U, they're freaking gunning you out, dude. Yeah. And they're definitely at 16U, it's definitely happening. Yeah. But at the same time, there's some freaking track stars out there playing softball. There's this one lady right now, one woman, I want to say, because I'm pretty sure she's out of high school. There's this one woman out there. I don't know what team she's on, but I'll find out. But I swear to you, Chad, she's got like a freaking 2.8 time. It's like a 2.8 or a 3. She runs like a 3 from freaking home to first base. She's there within like 2.7 seconds or something ridiculous.
I was watching a clip. Her number is 00.
The black girl?
Yeah, she's a black girl.
Dude.
She's a slap hitter, left-handed slap hitter.
Yeah, dude. She is.
Is that who you're talking about?
It's got to be the same girl, man.
Bro,
she honestly, if she bunts, you're fucked.
Dude, she got to third base on a slap hit.
I've started doing it in the park home run. I started doing it in the park home run off the freaking wall. She hit one in the wall. And she's just so damn fast. And those girls were playing back too. She still smoked him. Like, dude, she is, man, dude, she might be my favorite player right now to watch. I got to get her name, but I've seen some clips of her, and she is freaking fast. I'm pretty sure it's Serenity Trice. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'll show it.
Yes.
That girl.
She got all the way to third on here. She slides in, right? She slides into third on face first.
Yeah. Dude. Serenity Trice. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we'll link to her TikTok on here.
We'll try and get
if you guys, we're gonna try to get her on the podcast. If you guys haven't seen her, dude, she's an unstoppable force. She's so freaking fast. She's so fast. Yeah, I'm going to see if there's anybody else that pops up. So Mia Davis, while she is arguably the fastest player in softball right now, winning the NFCA Golden Shoe Award as a freshman.
Okay.
So that's like
pretty quick.
I'm pretty sure the Golden Shoe Award is headed to the girl that gets like the most stolen bases. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Her speed isn't just softball fast. In high school in Lovelady, Texas, Davis was an elite track athlete. She won multiple medals at the Texas UIL State and Track Field Championships. 100-meter speed. She competed in the 100-meter, the 200-meter, and relays, frequently clocking times that put her among the top sprinters in Texas. Because, dude, let me tell you guys something, everybody. There's quickness, and there's softball speed, and there's football speed, there's baseball speed, and then there's freaking track speed. Okay. And there is a huge difference between somebody who is a trained sprinter in track and field and somebody who just runs. Sure. You know, and if you get track speed with somebody who can run curves, like, you know,
that's why they run the base. They start way out and
they as fast as way as a freaking circle, man. You know, so yeah. Oh, hey, real quick, I want to tell our fans and listeners about this absolute freaking stud of a freaking player out of Georgia that I've been following for a while. You've probably seen her before. If you look at tutorials and stuff like that, you've probably seen her before. She has one of the nastiest, most violent swings that I have ever seen in my life. Her name is Kirsten Roos. And like, I'm going to show Chad what this girl looks like and just watch his face.
Oh my God. What the heck, bro? Okay. I was not expecting that. No offense by the laughing. I was
just turn this real quick so you guys know I'm not fucking around here. Whoa, dude. Whoa.
Hold on. We should do that again so I don't laugh and you can edit that out so she don't come back and kick my ass. All right, ready?
No, she might come back and kick your ass, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm pretty sure this girl could probably kick all our asses. Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it almost looks fake. It almost looks like AI, like someone put her face on something else or someone else, you know?
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. You know who that looks like? That looks like
Dolph Lundgren.
Bro, it looks like who was the actor that did the
if he dies, he dies.
Oh no.
No, who are you thinking?
Oh my.
Anyways, this girl, I mean, I'm gonna put some videos of her, man. She's just freaking nasty.
Down.
You made it this far in the video. If you guys hung out with us this long in the video today, we appreciate it.
Oh yeah, you guys are legends for doing that.
You guys get all bonus points.
I did. I mean,
you get bonus points for next week. You can turn those bonus. You can cash those points in for next week's episode. Hey, some things to look forward to coming up on the show, guys. We got some guests coming up. We're still trying to track for Steve. We've been talking about him. We got that. We're starting actually. We start our tournaments here in about 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
In about 4 weeks.
Yeah, we're in crunch time right now. It's
man.
Any speed, agility, any training.
Glow ball.
You know,
we got a little
lots
glow
of glow
ball.
balls. You know, we haven't shared it.
By the way, I still got all that gear in my car. Don't forget to get that for me.
Yeah. But you know, we're not as fortunate, unfortunately, as some other teams that they're able to practice on lit fields. So we have to do what we can do to make practice happen because you can only do so much in a barn. So a bunch of our families got together and we invested in a bunch of glow balls that we charge up, and some glow vests so that we're safe about it. You know, so we can see the girls. And oh my God, the practices have been freaking lit, pun intended, and it'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah,
and we got it down to a science, and girls love it, and we're getting practicing. Yeah. So we've been practicing pretty hard and doing a strength and agility. All the girls, you know, wearing weight vests. You know, like it's pretty serious.
I think there's another. I won't put their team on blast yet, but I think there's another. I think there's tournaments starting this weekend, actually. Right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's one I think happening up in Centralia, Washington, on the indoor place, which is kind of weird from what I understand. Like, it's cool to go up there and it's an indoor thing, but it's kind of weird because the outfields are short, right?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, like, I heard something like if the ball goes off the freaking fence, it's either an out or they can catch it off the fence, or if they catch it off the fence and then throw it to first base, you're out. It's just crazy, but still, you know, be fun to go up there and experience like a big indoor dome type of facility. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on, but
and then we got our daddy-daughter dance,
which we're gonna have the girls on as guests next week.
Yeah,
so
something
we're
fun to look forward to. A bunch of pictures and some videos of us getting down. Rob with his sword on the dance floor.
Yeah. Hey, only my wife calls it that. Shh, quiet. So, but I don't know how we're gonna do the podcast next week. I think we might just do like a 4x, like kind of like we did for Medford.
Yeah,
because we only got 4 cameras. I might just take a wide angle with like an action camera and put it up on top up there, and we'll try it out. Regardless, it's gonna be good. We're gonna have all kinds of questions for the girls, and the girls are like, you know, you got a catcher's perspective and a pitcher's perspective, and both are hardworking.
Yep.
Okay, for those of you that don't know, my daughter and I, we get together a little bit, but when it comes to coaching, we're like oil and water. We don't mix. We're like 2 explosions going off, right? So that's why I pay coaches to do the same shit I do, all right, with her. Well, I don't have to pay Abby. Okay, and I've worked
crazy. And Ziva will take it. Yeah,
I've worked so much with Abby, and she's such a sponge, and she's so coachable. I'm telling you guys, depending on what she does, like if Abby wants to down the road, she can easily be a coach. She's very good at communicating and being patient, not putting someone down, being you know compassionate, and then she can get up and kind of show you. She could be a coach one of these days. Well, anyways, so like when Ziva doesn't take the instruction from me, I'm like, Coach Abby, come here, and then Ziva goes, finally. Abby comes on over, and you know, and basically coaches are on up. So you know, like
they coach each other. They really do. I hear when we were all in the garage and those 2 were outside and Kai was inside hitting. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're both out there. You know, Ziva pushes Abby. Ziva totally pushes Abby. And it's great. Ziva gives Abby the hardest time when Abby's being lazy. She's like, come on, quit being lazy, Abby. You know what I mean? Because hey, we all know, like, my kid can be freaking lazy. Like, that's the problem. She's got great work ethic, and she really pushes, and she's really trying. Right now, she's in a high right now. She's kind of starting. If you guys follow me on the social media, she's really starting to see her gains in the gym. She's loving it. She's on this high. And they go like this, as you and I both know. Yeah. You know what I mean? They go like this. And especially, you know, they're 11, 12. Dude, they're going to go like this here soon. Crazy style. So anyway, soak it up while you can, guys. Soak it up while you can.
And speaking about the gym, I want to say this before I forget. So you guys probably know, if you guys watch the podcast, I'm big on playlists, and I talk about playlists and yada, yada, playlist. Well, guess what? I finally migrated about half of my playlists from my personal TikTok account over to the Bucket Dad's TikTok account. Nice. And I made them public. And you can see how I divide up all the different drills and stuff like that. They're mostly just for hitting, but I got the strength and conditioning stuff there too. And some like, you know, mental stuff like that. Eventually I get the fielding and like some of the pitching stuff, and like some of that, you know, once it gets a little bit more organized, it's pretty organized, but it's not like super organized, like subcategories of subcategories, you know. But the baseball or the softball stuff is over there. And I strongly recommend, if you guys want the upper hand, if you want the upper hand and you want to pass some of these things along to your daughters or your teams, you know, I'm all for the development.
Well, the whole thing is it's for like it's, you're not the first one to lay it. Here we go. People don't want to use it. People not that they don't want to use your stuff, but like people choose to use or not to, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
And like you put it out there.
Yeah.
It's been out, you know, it's there. Like everyone's gonna like either get past their ego and use it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That the information's available.
Now I will say this. Yeah. I'm not saying they're going to be publicly available forever, because if we end up going down the road of getting a Patreon and stuff like that and putting together, you know, our modifications of these drills, I want to freaking make those things freaking private. Yeah, man. You know, I don't mean to be giving out free shit if I'm going to be teaching similar stuff. You know what I mean? But for those of you who are the early adopters, early listeners to the Bucket Dads podcast, if you want if you want the dope ass super freaking playlist library with all the different parts of the swing and problems broken down into drills,
Slow-mo.
You got it. Just go to @BucketDads on TikTok. Give us a follow. Let us know you're there. Freaking like the playlist. Message, you know, freaking. You know, just so you guys know, these are not my videos. These are just videos that I've collected into lots of collections. Everything's organized. And like, for example, you know, if you have a bat drag problem, there's a playlist to stop bat drag, and there's like 7 different tutorials on how to do that. If you have an extension issue, there's probably like freaking 5 or 6 for that. But in total, there are hundreds of videos. So Anyways, check it out.
Enjoy.
Yep. And by the way, follow those coaches.
Absolutely.
Follow those coaches, because there's a lot of other videos out there that those guys put out that maybe I haven't seen, and shit. Let us know if you got a badass video that you found. If you find a drill, comment in the freaking section of YouTube. Tag us and say, check out this drill. What do you think about this? Any of you guys can do that. If you guys see something, you're like, I don't know, is this still a thing or not? Dude, shoot us a link and ask us. And just put in the comments on YouTube, put in the comments on one of our TikTok videos, shoot us a DM, whatever, reach out to us, an email, the Bucket Dads podcast at gmail.com, hit us up on Instagram. Our Instagram's starting to go now.
Yeah, most of you guys know us. Call us, give us a text message.
Yeah. Or just give us a freaking call, you pricks.
Ask us when you see us at practice on Tuesday.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So,
sweet, dude.
Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else I want to talk about real quick. Oh yeah. If you guys have any requests, as you can tell, I've been, the Rob Father's been cooking in the lab, cooking up some songs and shit. If you guys have any requests about certain thing involving softball or sports life or anything like that, if you want us to try to see what we can come up with for a badass song, shoot us some ideas. I got a bunch. I got a list of song ideas, but I love getting our viewers and our fans involved. So I guess, well, listen, I hope you guys have a great week.
Yep.
We'll probably be putting this out on Tuesday, Wednesday. We're definitely not, in case you guys haven't figured out, we're definitely not putting down on Mondays. Yeah. It's probably Tuesday or Wednesday. We found out that the best time to drop podcasts is usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and Mondays is really bad for reach and for audience. So we're definitely not doing that.
And it's nice to have a couple extra days. You don't have to. You'll get one early next week sometime.
Yeah. So
and, we've been doing so far. We haven't let you down yet. You guys got a podcast every week so far. By the way, we're up to 60 something subscribers, I think.
It's just so much over 1,000 listens.
We got over 1,000 views, I think, and we're growing. So hey, appreciate y'all, man. Another good one, Rob.
Hey, man.
And then we will see you guys next week after the Rob's first daddy-daughter dance. And something to look forward to with our beautiful daughters. All jazzed up.
I'm pretty excited.
Let's do it.
All right, bro.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace out. Later.
Boom.